After starring for Bondurant Farrar, Chris Norton had high hopes for his freshman year at Luther College.
To play on the football team right away as a freshman, to get on some special teams, which I was able to accomplish, and just, eventually grow into, a starter and just do what I love, playing sports and playing football and just going to school and have a good time.
He was living his dream, but it would not last long.
It was October 16th of last season. Chris Norton, a freshman on the Luther football team, was here at this very spot in the stadium in Decorah when he was covering a kickoff, tackling a Central football player right around the 30-yard line. When the Central football player's knee came up and hit Chris in the head, Norton dropped to the ground. Right away, his family knew something terrible had happened.
Sometimes when you're hurt, you kind of roll around or whatever on the ground, but he was motionless, so that's when I knew.
Waiting for the kind of the numbness and to go away, and just figured it was a really bad stinger.
As a coach, it's your worst nightmare.
When they had to call in for a helicopter, that's when I knew it was serious.
Chris was paralyzed. He was airlifted to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester. His neck was fractured, his spinal cord compressed.
They told me after the surgery that there's a 3% chance of any kind of movement below the injury site. And so that was definitely a big blow, but it never really seemed real. I just knew right from the beginning that that wasn't going to be the case, and that I wasn't going to be able to walk and be able to move again.
Amazingly, Chris got a chance to prove himself.
1, 2, 3.
You see, once the shock in his spinal cord began to wear off,
There you go.
his nerves actually began to wake up. So step by step, muscle by muscle, Chris defied the odds and began the long journey of retraining his entire body.
Almost like a competition for me to improve myself, and I won't be able to sleep at night if I know I didn't work hard enough.
I've never seen anyone work this hard.
Chris does the work, but older sister Alex makes it possible. She just got her nursing degree, and instead of beginning her career, she moved to Decorah to help Chris full-time.
I really don't feel like I've had to sacrifice anything. He's my brother, and I have my whole life to work, so.
She's pretty much my mom up here taking care of me. And
what are we having for supper?
I don't know.
Twice a week, she drives him 150 miles round trip to the Mayo Clinic for extensive rehab.
She's with Sheila.
What? Pull it, Chris.
That's what I'm talking about.
They spend every other day of the week in Decorah, pushing Chris's body to the limit. It's a challenge he's been unknowingly preparing for his entire life.
Growing up, loving sports, he'd always do a speed and agility camp, then he'd go to open gym, then he'd go to practice for something else, and all day was focused on sports and working out, so I think that really has played a huge role in getting him where he is today.
Hard work pays off. On September 10th, less than a year after breaking his neck, Chris showed his old teammates just how far he'd come. As an honorary captain that day, Chris led out his team and stood tall on legs he shouldn't be able to use.
it was a great, rush, and it was a great feeling to be back, kind of a stepping stone in my recovery.
Katie.
And it was a landmark moment for Chris, his parents, and his 2 sisters.
Definitely feels great to beat the odds, and that I'm not going to let other people tell me what's going to happen to me or how it's going to dictate my life.
Chris has been a great inspiration. They look at Chris in regards to, just what faith and determination can do. I think they look at Chris as well as somebody who appreciates each and every moment.
Since that day 2 months ago, Chris's progress has been astonishing.
I'm gonna let go here.
He can now stand unassisted for 3 minutes. And here's the most recent video, controlling his own legs as he moves even closer to his ultimate goal.
People can't believe when I tell them, the percentage and where my injury was at. You're not supposed to have hardly any return, and I've had so much return.
I think it's a miracle. I think it's really, really cool, and it comes from the hard work that Chris has given to his body.
It's remarkable what he has done, and I fully believe he's going to stand up and walk on his own here in the near future.
I just keep working really hard and just say my prayers and just keep believing.